I do believe we are live, and we're recording, and we're recording.
Whoop, whoop.
I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe I only dreamed pressing all the buttons. In any case, hello, and welcome to Pack Tactics Season 3. This is Episode 30, The Search for JR. So...
Wait, we're on Season 3? How long have I been asleep?
Oh, no.
I've got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
So you know Futurama, when Fry, really early on, goes into that cryogenic chamber? Yeah.
I thought that was a really good name.
You wake up hundreds of years later and you're like, I'm almost well rested. Where's the snooze button? Just on principle. Well, this is a homebrew D&D campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening, and tonight I am joined by a bunch of incredibly awesome people, including, but not limited to, Ellie, Eo, Jen, Matt, and Cindy. We've got LFA hanging out in chat. I imagine Archbeth is not far behind somewhere out there.
She's been at a thingy, urgent care. Oh.
Okay. I did see what she was tweeting, so that was an adventure. And I guess I shall leave it at that. All right. So, with all this being said, what happened last week?
Last week we found a maze. We proceeded through the maze, trying to take careful protocol to always turn to the right and make a mark each time we do. And then we came across some stalactites and stalagmites that had fused. A couple of us, including JR, went around them to see if there was anything on the other side in this big cavern. When all of a sudden some garrote wire appeared around JR's neck and he disappeared. The rest of the party is very angry at this and ready to turn this mountain into a crater if we have to. Then we fought some multi-armed creatures.
There were some notes.
There were big ones, and they were squishy.
Or at least you made them go squish.
Yes.
I believe there was a pancake involved.
I think there was.
Worst pancake.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from the syrup. That's not syrup. Okay. And how long does the Earth Elemental stay up for?
He will hang around for an hour.
Okay. So you still have an Earth Elemental hanging out with
Like my
you.
turret.
Yep.
Okay. The turret will go over to the Earth Elemental and say, "Hi, how you doing? I'm a turret. I saw you smash things. You're really good at that. Can you shoot things like I can?"
It'll nod. Or shake its
Turret's
head no.
making friends. I'm so proud.
It
Well,
understands
attempting to.
common, but it can only speak primordial. So it will nod or shake its head no. It can't shoot things.
Oh, that's a shame. But I bet you can throw things really far. You look very strong.
It will nod its head up and down. Begin to slowly put its hands around the turret.
Aww. Well, aw if it's a hug. Oh no, if it's a crushing embrace.
Well, he did indicate that I could throw things. I'm not sure if I throw the turret will it end well.
Oh, no.
So, inspiration.
He pauses long enough to look at Snacks, and is like, Snacks just kind of shrugs, and like, I don't know. What?
Huh? Is this still making friends? Everybody's playing nice over there, right?
So far, he has done nothing but has placed his hands upon the turret. Snacks will say, is the turret wanting to be thrown?
I don't think there's anything to throw it at.
Fair.
Well, I do think
he'll-
flight would be an interesting adventure. I think that if I was thrown, it much be more like following with style. And I'm not really up for that.
Then the elemental will take his hands off the turret
Thank
and
you.
kind of shrug his shoulders and lumber over towards Snacks and wait.
Okay, that was really
oh, good.
weird. Really
Oh,
weird.
good.
Oh, hey,
They
this is a rope
are
bridge.
friends.
Cool. Are we going to cross the rope bridge?
Maybe?
Probably.
It's still the farthest most to the right, so...
Yeah, I like how you're like, this is a maze, and you've been going in a straight line the entire time.
We have. Yeah.
That is how the rule works. It doesn't actually matter if you follow it as the right-hand rule or the left-hand rule, as long as you follow it and don't get it mixed up in the middle. If you get it mixed up in the middle, you will get super lost.
Well, you're assuming that the passages you've gone through before haven't changed.
Yeah, I am.
The generator
Probably I
that
shouldn't assume, but
the generator that made this map lets me change tiles, rotate tiles, and swap tiles.
Interesting.
Just saying.
Well, from a purely logical standpoint, even if it is changing shape, we're still better off sticking to a rule until we can discern a pattern to how it changes shape, even though the rule would be much less effective. It's still better
and
than...
also if it's changing shape, it's gonna change shape whether we follow the rule or not, so we lose nothing by following the rule.
By the way, the force turret is halfway across the rope bridge.
Oh! It takes after me. Okay, I'm following.
Of course it does. Oh my goodness. All
It's a really
right.
long way down.
All right, to the rope bridge.
Yep. Here we go.
Okay. The rope bridge, as you can see in the map, leads to a small area that looks like it might have been a stalagmite that had the top of it cut off, so it has a flat surface. It might not have been, because it kind of looks like if it was a stalagmite, it was not made by limestone dripping down through water over many, many millions of years, but rather lava pouring in and piling up over perhaps a shorter period of time. But
Huh.
it remains
That's
that
weird.
the area you have reached has a flat surface that appears to be an aftermarket addition after the stalagmite was formed. That does allow for sturdy anchoring for the rope bridge that you've gone across. And as you look into the gloom, which isn't so bad for kobolds because, kobolds, you're fine with the gloom. Others have adopted the darkness. You were born in it. Actually, literally, you were born in it.
Yep.
Well, actually, no, you might not have been, because the Cogbucket Prime doesn't have dark vision. So,
Oh. Yeah, maybe not.
yeah, those of you from that particular clutch of eggs might actually have been born in the light.
But then everything kind of almost fell on us, I'm told.
If by kind of you mean definitely and there were multiple saving throws made, yes.
Yeah.
And that's the robot that was put in charge of raising new kobolds.
Yep.
What could possibly
Well,
go wrong?
He learned not to do that.
We hope.
Yes. Okay, so you can see that this is, in theory, a dead end. There is another rope bridge further down in the gloom that you can see going across, connecting two things, and beyond that there is another platform like the one you're on, but it is not connected to either of the rope bridges.
Does it look like we could climb down to the ground?
The ground is further down than your dark vision allows you to see.
This would be a time when it would be really useful to have a flying carpet. Hey, Zax!
Yeah.
Wait, it's not connected to this side or it's not connected to either side because, I don't want to be stuck on over there.
Well, it is the bottom portion of the map that I shared in Discord.
I cannot read that well enough to figure out what that means.
Okay,
Near
so
the
basically, you've got...
We're on the platform that looks like an upside down heart,
Okay.
Yes.
and the rope bridge is the other rope bridge is the sequence of teeth a little further down.
And actually throwing me probably wouldn't be that helpful because all my rope is behind,
a bag of
no.
nope.
Yeah.
Well, how far is the rope bridge from this platform? I could perhaps, my staff could jump us over there.
It's maybe 15 feet.
Oh, I could do that on my own.
I also have 50 feet of rope.
Yep. Same. Haven't used it yet. I don't think.
With 50 feet of rope for a 15-foot distance, you could possibly make a rope bridge to the rope bridge.
What skill would be involved in that?
If it's not survival, I'd be surprised. Because if you fail, you're not going to.
Yeah.
So the big question to me is, do we want to try to take the risk to get to that rope bridge? Or do we want to go back to, hey, this is a maze, treat this as a dead end, double up, and take the left turn on our previous junction?
I wish I'd built something for levitation today. How far is the way down?
You don't know.
Far.
Way
You
down.
can't see it.
which means farther than 60 feet, which means our rope can't reach it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a bottomless pit at this point.
Probably is.
Because if you wanted to tie a rope around me and sort of,
Throw you over there?
No, not throw me over. Actually,
I'd
that
get
could work.
I could get you back
Actually,
if you're
wait,
attached
maybe
to the
that
rope,
shouldn't
you know?
work. I don't have a high strength. I have a strength of 9.
There's a meme
also-
that details this exact situation, you know.
Is there? I would
But
know.
I was thinking you could lower me down and see if I could see the bottom, you know?
Or you could become food for another one of those things we just fought.
Yeah, let's not go fishing.
Yeah, and also if the bottom is that far down, then even if it's safe to jump down from the rope, we might not be able to get back up because the ropes aren't long enough. So
Let's treat
I'll go
this
with
as a
whatever.
dead end.
What?
Let's treat this as a dead end.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Okay.
too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The fishing comment made me think of a previous out-of-context quote that we had for this game. Look, one of you needs to end up in the dragon's mouth, and you're the one wearing half plate. Okay, so you decide, we're not going to chance it. And the dark, horrible monsters that were, in fact, looking for friends and just wanted to have a tea party just sort of sigh heavily and cry as you turn around and go back. One of them had a welcome kobold sign they made up. Some of the letters are backwards. None of this is true. Or is it? No. No, none of it is true.
Dun, dun.
Okay, so you go back to the room with the very large stalagmite / tight. It's both. It's a pillar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are continuing along the edge of the wall, that would have you go down the hallway that is to the east. Is that what you want to do, or do you want to go to a previous room?
To the
Yes.
east.
To the east.
That's what keeps with the roll.
Yeah.
That's going to require me to make another screen capture.
Okay.
Okay. So as you go to the east, you go up some stairs that have been carved into the floor, and you hit another junction where the way south has an additional set of stairs that go down, so things very quickly go out of sight. There's also stairs to the north that go down into a wider room where you do have a view of it, and that continues off to the north. It's sort of narrowing like a triangle, and then there's stairs beyond that, and that blocks your view from that. Or you could continue to the east rather, because the hallway does continue in that direction, and it looks like it branches off just outside the screen capture that I shared. Based on what you've said before, my assumption is you are going to go south.
I think
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Mary, make a mark, and we'll turn right.
Yep.
Come on, Ballista, up on my shoulders.
All right. Make a strength save.
Oh no.
Well, check. Make a strength check.
My turret is tiny.
How tiny?
I mean, that's its size.
And how
Can be
small
held
are
in
you?
one hand.
Oh, yeah, how small
Oh, it'll
are
fit
you?
in one hand?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess
it
would,
is.
It can be held in one hand. I guess it probably means by a medium-sized creature, but also it doesn't qualify that you have to be medium-sized to hold it in one hand.
But also, if its scale is tiny, that's like a sprite or a pixie. That is quite small.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to require you to make a strength check. My assumption was that it was a small thing, and therefore it's cobalt size, climbing up
It
on
can
Oh,
it
yeah.
can be small or tiny, but I generally summon tiny ones.
Okay. You have a parrot, or in some cases, a cat. In my home, it's a cat. As you are heading to the south, Neri, with your passive perception of 19, and I think Zenosha's is 18.
Yes.
This is what I get for editing last week's recording earlier today, so I actually was able to remember that because I heard it again. Both of you hear a clacking sound coming from behind you.
I turn around and take a look.
Okay.
I do the same.
You see,
There is a dog there.
Yes.
it is the goodest of dogs. They are there and they want to lick your face. This is not true. That would be a better encounter. What you see is a roll for initiative.
Okay.
That qualifies
no.
as a nope.
Is that like a nope?
It's a different kind of nope than what you've seen before, but it does not appear to be a thing that you immediately refer to as friend.
Oh, that's pretty nope.
Is
Okay,
that where we're
Chroma
fighting?
might
Nope,
still
just so
consider it to be
Chroma
a friend.
starts-
Chroma might look at it and say friend. I'm not going to say the rest of you do.
Yeah, Chroma saw Niyogi and thought friend, though, so...
To be fair, Chroma was mind-controlled by the Neogi at the time. Actually,
Okay,
no,
and-
wait, she did try to diplomacy with them before one of them mind-controlled her. That's how she got mind-controlled.
Okay, so I am seeing a 19 for Neri, 15 for Zax, 15 for Zenosha, 12 for Chroma, 5 for Snacks. So, yay! Wonderful. It looks like the healer's going last. Snacks, you're a healer, right?
No.
So you
Okay.
don't have life transference?
Maybe.
Okay, so
if I
what
do,
you
I
see-
probably don't have it memorized.
what you see running towards you looks remarkably like this. It is...
That's a nope.
That's a nope. So for our listening audience at home, what they see is a humanoid creature that has a very bulbous torso. Its arms and legs don't end in hands and feet. Instead, it ends in long, sharp spikes. Its head is positioned so that if it was a human, they'd be crouched forward, but the bone structure makes it look like that's just their natural posture. They might not be able to stand up further than that. And its eyes are constantly leaking some dark substance that resembles tears, but it's much more viscous.
And it sort of looks like some whole weird bulbous torso thing is made of, like, sort of muscles, but not in a way where muscles should be, and I don't like it.
Mark this down on your calendars, everyone. Chroma has found a thing she does not like.
Hey! I haven't liked any of the nopes so far.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's that at least.
This is
I do
true.
see what EO means. It looks kind of like muscle tissue, but weaved more like a basket than actual muscles.
How far
Fast
away is
forward 20 sessions, and Chroma will have befriended Cthulhu. Really, all they wanted to do was take a nap.
How far away is this thing?
Well, it is already within 30 feet because you'd gone around a corner to head to the south.
Okay.
And it came around from it was coming from the east. You came from the west, it came from the east. Now you're both facing, well, now it's facing south. You're facing north because you don't turn your back on the nope. Some would. Some would turn their back on the nope. You are not those someones. And Neri, you have very quick reflexes. You may go first.
I do. Thank you. I am going to put Hunter's Mark on it. Let me remember what that does. And I'm going to make 2 attacks, and I'm going to take a -5 on each of them. So that's 28
28 will hit.
and a 15.
The 15 will miss.
Okay.
I like how you took a -5 and still got a 28.
That's impressive.
I rolled a 19.
Those fighter levels, man, they got bonuses.
And the one that hits is going to be a grasping arrow. So 2, 3, 4, 34 damage.
34
Wow.
points of damage from one hit.
Wow.
And it is wrapped up in brambles.
Okay.
So its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn it moves 1 foot or more.
All right. Now, looking at this map for where you are all roughly 15 feet away from this thing. It is rather close quarters. But I imagine that distance is not going to stay at 15 feet for very long, especially considering it is JR's turn. So JR is going to do something. You can't see them. They're not here. Next up is Zax.
All right, I'm going to go up and hit it with the hammer. I've rolled 19 plus 12 for 31 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, here's the damage. It's 5 plus 4 plus 8 for 17. That's my first hit. And the second one, roll to hit, is 14 plus 12 for 26.
A 26 will also hit.
And the damage on that one is 4 plus 5 plus 8 for 17. And I'm
Okay.
done.
It cries. It actually lets out a wail.
This is disturbing.
Oh no.
And Chroma has
Okay,
changed her mind.
evidence suggests that this thing is probably very terrible, but also that's a sad noise, and now I'm sad.
It is definitely a sad noise. It is remarkably so a very sad noise. Imagine, if you will, a cross between a small child not getting what they want and a husky that has not been played with for 5 minutes. Those are the saddest sounds I can think of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Zenosha.
All right.
Um,
I'm going to cast Produce Flame, and I can, according to the spell description, I can throw it the same turn I summon it. So I'm throwing it at the knife leg guy. And do I get an advantage because Zox is right there?
Zax is right there, so yes, you do get pack tactics.
Zox! That's
Useful
not
because
even
one of the two...
You've
I don't...
invented a new sibling!
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I
She
think
got-
I combined Zax and Gox somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, that
She
makes
got-
sense.
2 of the 3 letters. You were 2/3 correct.
Right.
I like that this is becoming a thing.
In high school, I was famously bad with names, so yeah, it's been a thing in my life.
Oh.
But okay,
So,
glad I got Pack Tactics because one of those dice was a 1.
Ooh.
Fortunately, the other was a 12 for a total of 20.
That'll hit. For the record, before I came to my current teaching position, I was a traveling art teacher. I had over 2,000 students per year that I got to see once a grading period. So I'm lucky I remember what my name is.
Yeah.
All right, didn't do so well on the rolls, but I do 5 fire damage with the tiny, tiny fireball I throw at it.
There is a sniffle.
Oh.
Chroma, I'm really not liking this adventure. Can we do a different adventure? Could you unsummon me and resummon me someplace nice? Like a beach?
If you like.
Chroma, please don't. Turret will be helpful in keeping us alive.
Yeah. Chroma. Chroma drops into deep speech, or at least tries to. When she speaks in deep speech, it's more like, sort of medium tone speech because her voice is so high already.
And also way more cheerful. Even a disturbed Chroma is way too cheerful for the deep speech to have the right accent.
Did we get it wrong? Did you not want to kill us? If you didn't want to kill us, we can unhurt you and everyone can go on our way?
Alone.
Oh, that's very sad. Are you looking for friends?
So alone. They left me alone.
Do you want a hug?
I want to weigh in, but I don't speak deep speak.
But by the way,
Wait.
it's speaking in common.
Oh. All right. This is weird. This is the weirdest battle I've been in.
This is a very weird battle.
It's only episode 30. I guarantee you.
That phrase will
you
return,
see-
won't it?
You don't even see the portion of the iceberg that the Titanic saw.
Okay, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Actually, I'm playing Chroma. I can definitely believe I'm doing this. Chroma is going to go up to it and try to, pat it on the leg.
Okay.
Chroma, no.
Oh boy. She's making
no.
friends with it.
Oh, no.
It wraps one of its arms around Chroma. The spiky portion is on the end, so wrapping its arm around you does not impale you.
This is still
So,
really weird.
good hug? Friends now? Or are you going to try to absorb me or something? Please don't try to absorb me.
It just says alone again. I'm not doing that voice right away.
Oh,
Okay,
Chroma
so,
pats it.
all right. Snacks.
Are we fighting this thing or not?
Well,
I'm
Chroma's not.
honestly
Don't know
not
anymore.
sure anymore.
Has it made any hostile moves?
No, it's
It
stuck
ran
in
around the
brambles.
corner, and then you beat on it, and it started to cry.
And now Chroma has embraced it.
Yes.
How about we start with some sort of check to determine maybe I've read about whatever this thing might be. Why don't we try that first?
Okay. What kind of check are you going to make?
I'll be honest, it looks undead. It
I
also
vote
looks
for
like...
Arcana.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, I'm better at Arcana than religion. So. Actually, I think I'm the same. Actually, yes, I am the same. But I'm going to go with Arcana since I'm a wizard. That's what I should start with. So, let me get back here. Dog. So there's a 9. So I probably do not recognize it. I will go with Fire Shield. Then I will simply go defensive.
Okay.
In case it tries to stab at me or do something like grab me, it will take damage if it hurts me.
Okay.
Perhaps it can learn from its mistakes. I will not order the elemental to do anything other than defend itself.
Okay. It is quite happy not getting anywhere near this thing. All right. It is this thing's turn. At the start of its turn, I'm going to ask Zax and Chroma, because you are the two
Fair enough.
that are within 5 feet of it, to make a
I am
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
Oh, boy. Okay. I have a 9.
You do not make the saving throw.
Nope.
I nat one.
Okay.
No.
You both take 10 points of psychic damage.
Oh, wow.
Ow.
You feel
you-
like it really is enjoying your company, or at least it's making the company's making it less sad. The psychic damage, it doesn't feel like you're being like stabbed in the mind. It feels like it's leeching from you. Like, have you ever had that friend where after you've hung out with them, you just feel so drained? Like it took so many spoons to deal with them?
Yep.
This is that person.
Oh, no.
Only take that friend and put spikes on their arms and legs.
Did you mean to do that?
Slowly. And it is going to point one of its spiky arms, the one that's not hugging Chroma at this moment, at Neri.
It's got to be at a 19.
It does not. That was a 5 plus 7. But it does point its spiky arm at Neri, and it shoots out like a harpoon. Neri, however, is quite skilled at avoiding projectile weapons, almost as good at that as she is as sending them back at people. There are bits of this thing that are still attached to the spiky portion of its arm, so it can retract it again after it's shot out, and it does just that. And then, the last thing it does on its turn... Oh, wait. I forgot. I need to roll again. Nope. Still not high enough. It gets advantage on its rolls if there's enough people near it. And there are enough people near it. Last thing it's going to do, I would like Chroma to make another wisdom saving throw. This is for a different ability.
Oh,
It's
my.
because you went in for a hug.
Yeah, I figured that would end with wisdom saving throws. Oh, what
Oh.
the sidekick?
That's the
That is
second nat one in a
not-
row for wisdom saving throws. The best part is you have a -1 modifier, so you've technically rolled a 0 twice.
I mean, considering that I went in for a hug, that...
Seems appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, that bears out.
You take an additional 18 points of psychic damage.
Whoa.
Ow. Okay.
Chroma, do we have your permission to kill this thing now?
I'm not going to ask for permission. This has got to stop.
So, Neri, you're up.
Well, it's now been overtly hostile, so I'm going to shoot bullets at it.
It was trying to bring you over for a hug.
Yeah, I mean, my brambles are still there. I don't want to hug it.
I mean, literally, the last ability it used was the word embrace was in the name.
I know. I've never gotten to do that, I don't think. Oh, and each creature within 5 feet of it. Never mind.
I mean, you can
What
still
would
use
it
that
involve?
ability.
Taking a lot of piercing damage.
Oh, I can handle it, but I don't think Chroma can.
Yeah, I don't want to put that to the test. I'm going to make 2 attacks. And I'll go ahead and take the -5 again.
You have advantage this time.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Will an 18 hit?
An 18, if I can get to the right tab, hits.
All right. Then I'm pretty sure a 20 will.
The 20 is a glancing blow.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to make another 2 attacks.
Let's roll your damage first.
Okay. That's... Hang on. Yeah, let's roll this damage first. 49 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Whoa.
Through the eyes.
Okay. Thunk thunk. It stops hugging Chroma and falls over backwards, taking the brambles with it.
Are we sure it's dead?
You can always hit it with your hammer a few more times to be sure.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't want it getting up and following us down the hallways, you know.
It heals 10 hit points.
No.
Another one.
The nope heals 10 hit points, and I have been keeping track.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
if you're keeping track, oh
they're all
no.
they're all nopes. They're all nopes, but the decanter of endless nope
Yeah.
is where you have the nope that heals.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going
This
to go
nope
ahead.
does not
Unless it
appear to be
has-
healing.
Unless it has infinite health, it's got to have reached its max by now. We've had several long rests.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
like thousands of hit points.
All right, I'm going to go and
Now that
squash
you
this
mention
thing's
it.
head with the hammer so that I know it's not going to come after us.
It's a very easy thing for you.
Chroma,
As
do you
in,
need
not
some
asking for
healing?
rolls.
No. Mm-mm.
It's okay. I can heal me.
Okay.
Chroma turns a dial on her armor and casts Cure Wounds on herself. And heals 12 hit points.
Okay.
All right, let's turn around and continue south.
I am going to use one of my rare spell slots to cast Goodberry and pass a handful of 10 berries over to Zax.
Cool. How much does this...
Each of them heals 1 hit point.
Oh, awesome. And I just ate them all at once.
Congratulations. Neri brought Gorp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Goodberry doesn't heal that much, but its primary utility is that its entire day's worth of food and water.
Yeah.
All right. This is great.
Or for barbarians, maybe about
At
an
least
hour.
a
That's 20
snack.
minutes.
Yeah. Maybe an hour, but that helped a lot. I didn't know you could do that.
I don't very often have spell slots.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. The ship eats all that, right?
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Well, this worked good.
Okay.
So what's next?
That -5 to my attack rolls, by the way, lets me add +10 to my damage.
I remembered that.
Power attack.
Yeah.
That's why we're seeing these massive damage rolls from Neri. And also, in spite of the epic bow, occasionally a miss.
Yeah.
Every once in a blue moon.
Sometimes you roll a 6.
Okay. Matt, do me a favor. Could you
For roll
roll
percentile
percentile
dice?
dice for me? A 93. Fascinating. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So as you continue south, this is what you see. There are several sets of stairs that go down by varying amounts. It looks like it was more of a very hard to manage slope, so the stairs were carved in out of necessity than anything else. You do come up to a small room that you can see where the stairs go up into it. My assumption is you do peek your heads in to see what it looks like because that's a right turn and you're doing the right is right thing. The room is completely empty. Actually, no, is it completely empty? Do you examine the room or do you say, nope, nothing here, let's move on?
Let's
I'm gonna
at least
examine
do a
it
quick
in
examination.
case there's another one of those things in there.
Investigation time.
I would say let's start with perception checks.
Perception?
Aww.
Oh.
24.
Ah, wonderful.
Trying to figure out how to do that.
Well, that's a non-natural one.
Sidekick does not like you today.
Sidekick does not like me today.
To be fair, Chroma went and hugged a nope.
True.
Yeah. Chroma's
Matt, remove the
life
H.
choices don't like Chroma today either.
Can I use my passive perception?
You most certainly may, but for most individuals, their passive perception is not high enough to hit the target score.
Gotcha.
So with the rolls, you look in and you're like, yeah, there's nothing here. I mean, there's some footprints, there's some dirt, but there's nothing of consequence except on your way out, Zenosha, you realize that on the way in, one of you, when you were scuffing your feet through, or maybe your tail drug over it or something, did uncover a gear.
Chroma, can I get you to look at this? Gears are more your specialty.
Absolutely.
This is where the DM giveth and the DM taketh away, because Chroma was so upset about having to roll perception.
Yeah.
But now she gets to roll investigation.
Okay, so I would like to use of my flash of genius to add a +4 to that.
Okay. So that would make your roll be an 18 instead of a 14. And with that, you know exactly what this gear is for.
Neat.
Yeah, very neat. Matter of fact, you have a love-hate relationship with this particular gear. It has been a bane upon your existence. Maybe you wouldn't use those particular words, but someone else would have those words. Every now and then, JR would have difficulty with a shoulder joint, and you'd have to go in and take a look at it over the long voyages that you did before. And this particular gear, you were going to get around to replacing it, but wouldn't you know it, when you're chasing the moon through the phlogiston, you don't have that many spare parts for very special things. This is the one that kept slipping out of place.
Oh no.
What is it, Chroma?
It's from JR's shoulder.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
To be fair, it could have just slipped out of place.
Yeah, it is the one that kept slipping out of place, maybe.
So
But
they
they
went this
couldn't
way.
be fighting very well with that. Yes, they went this way.
Well, if we keep going in this direction, maybe we'll find them.
Okay, you said we saw footprints in this room. Can we tell if they were going the same direction we were going or if they went the direction we came from?
It's a very small room, and the stairs that lead into it do not have anything on them that holds footprints very well. This particular area doesn't have a lot of humidity, so there's not a lot of mud that can be tracked.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
you can tell that beings were in that room and walked around. Some of the footprints actually look quite old. There's some that look like they're gnomish footprints, and your understanding is all the gnomes left. There are other footprints on top of those that do not appear to be friendly humanoid prints.
Okay, just had to try.
Okay, we've been playing for close to an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Yep.
Okay,
Let's
I'm going
do
to
it.
press some buttons.
That is valid.
We'll be right back. We are back. We are short one Matt. Matt isn't that short, but we are short one Matt. He is once again doing taxi service for Offspring, which is a thing, and real life comes first. So, you have investigated that little offshoot of a cave, and you found a gear, and then you continue onward, doing the whole right is right thing. And the DM should have taken a screenshot before we came back from break, because that would have been wise.
Oops.
But that would imply the DM is good at making wise decisions.
So you failed
And-
your wisdom check on that one.
And seriously, have you seen these campaigns? The DM does not always make wise decisions. It's how the players keep succeeding in what they do.
Aw.
So, this particular room appears to have 4 entrance/exits. The one you're coming in is in the northwest corner of this map. You're coming down another flight of stairs. There are passageways that have stairwells to the southeast and the southwest. Directly across from you in the northeast corner, okay, it's an oval room, so corner's really of a stretch, but you get the idea. There is some type of platform that juts out that is a bit too high up for it to be a meaningful entrance/exit unless something has flying speed. There is also a pool in the middle filled with dark water. There are no pirates in the dark water. Thank you. I'm here all week. And the DM needs to open a thing.
Okay, so we can either continue on with the right path, which in this case would take us to the southwest corner, or we can investigate that pool, and I'm not so sure about that pool.
Okay. Well, a thing came out of the pool just now and plopped down.
Okay.
It didn't come out to try to
Hello?
attack you. It plopped out and landed on the other side of the pool. It is carrying a handful of things that it lays down on the ground in front of it. It's not facing you, so you can't see what's laying down on the ground, but it seems to be moving them and examining them
Hi.
and muttering.
How big is it?
It is medium-sized,
Okay.
but it is very skinny. It's gaunt even. Does not appear to be very muscular at all. Well, maybe lean muscle. It has a lot of lean muscle because it looks like it's built for flight, actually. It has bat-like wings coming out from the shoulder blades.
I would like to sort of edge around the edge of the wall until I'm within its field of view.
Oh, you already said hello and they turned and looked at you.
Oh, okay.
There you
I turned
go.
to look at
I took that as
Hello was
canon.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, I did not realize it was looking at me now.
Oh, yeah, well,
I thought I was being ignored.
a chroma yelling out hello does tend to draw the attention of most beings from whatever plane.
Seems to be
Chroma
the
waves.
case, yeah.
This being snatches up whatever it had just plopped down on the ground and skids further away from you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to mess with your things.
It grunts at you.
Do you mind if we come through here?
It looks to the left and the right and then kind of just shrugs.
Okay, well, this thing doesn't seem hostile, but it also doesn't seem like it wants us here, so let's continue with turning right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
as you-
uh-huh.
As you start to turn right, it starts putting down the things that it was carrying again, and they do appear to be small bones.
Maybe it had lunch?
They could be from a fish or something.
Yeah.
They are definitely not fish bones.
Chroma sets down the rock with googly eyes on it before following the others.
You know, when you find JR again, they're going to be upset that you left that.
Oh,
That's not true. That's not true. JR actually feels bad about buying you dinosaur poop. It sniffs and goes back to looking at its bones. Chroma, give me a nature check. I would allow Neri to do this too for different reasons.
The druid doesn't get to make a nature check?
For this
22.
particular case, this particular druid, yeah, sure. The druid may also make the same nature check.
Surprisingly, I also got a 22.
Fantastic.
I got a 7, so it doesn't matter that I got one.
It wasn't meant to be.
I was going to say for this particular case, no, but then I remembered who your patron was, and I was like, no, yeah, you would have had to sit through classes about this. So those are both, the two successful rolls are very good. The bones it's examining are dragon bones.
Oh.
Smaller dragon bones, but dragon bones.
smaller dragon bones as in
Smaller
small
dragon.
bones from as in smaller dragon.
I mean, even full-sized adult dragons will have some bones that are larger than others and smaller than others, but these appear to be that of maybe a hatchling.
Oh.
It holds one of them up and looks at it and sniffs. If
What-
any
what-
of your characters had read Shakespeare, you'd be getting a very strong alas poor Yorick.
Yeah.
That would be the vibe.
All right,
But,
so what kind of bones is it messing with?
there seem to be some wing bones. There is definitely
Okay.
a small dragon skull, which is how you
Okay, so
recognize them to be
If
dragon
I could
bones.
see the dragon skull, I would know. So, does this thing eat dragons then, or
It still might have just found the bones. It
that could be?
doesn't seem too overtly hostile.
But
Yeah.
hatchling. Some poor hatchling got.
On the other hand, knowing whose cavern this was,
I mean, okay, it would have been an awkward conversation, but a hatchling's a hatchling, right?
This would have been a long time ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have been either a full-grown dragon or gone by now, one way or the other.
Let's keep following the path.
Yeah,
guess I'll
that's
take-
probably a good idea.
I guess I'll pick my rock back up.
Tell me your secrets.
Huh? My
Oh, no.
secret?
Just to us?
It doesn't seem to be looking at you.
It's talking to the bones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
This place is really creepy.
I don't know if I have any secrets.
Chroma,
Well,
it's not talking
what
to us.
do you know? Yes, I know you died young.
It's not talking to you, Chroma.
Yeah, it's definitely not talking to me.
Let's leave it to the conversation it's having with Bones and move on, I think.
Yes, I know your mom was powerful. Yes. Haven't spoken to her yet. Still looking.
Okay, that doesn't sound good at all.
I mean, it seems to be using the bones to just talk to the dead.
Yeah, but I thought that the dragon melted or something.
I know she's here, but where? Where would she be?
Maybe it's a cleric. I mean, it doesn't look very cleric-y, but that might be what cleric... It might not need, like, holy symbols for its religion.
It places the skull down and looks directly at you and says, I'm right here. You are very annoying.
Yeah, she has that effect on people sometimes, sorry.
I have a question about a game mechanic.
Okay.
The Ranger's Primeval Awareness ability is actually phrased differently in the summary on the features and traits and in the full description. For 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain. I'm not. Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. I'm concerned about the and. Is that an inclusive and? Or can I pick one?
I've seen it as an inclusive and when I've interpreted similar abilities for things like paladins.
Okay. Then that ability is useless to me right now.
As an inclusive and, I did tell the recipient what they did see or sense. I didn't say, oh yeah, one of those things is nearby. I said, oh yeah, there's a fae nearby.
Okay. Then I'm going to use that ability.
Okay, read that list for me again.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. Within 1 mile.
Yes, and give me a second. Aberrations, definitely.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you may have fought some aberrations recently. So, yes.
I thought that might be the case. And I know there's an elemental. Because
thing says
it's standing right
in
there.
Terran, I'm right here. Okay. I don't want to keep asking you to read the list for me over and over again, so I went to your character sheet to see it so I can go through it and tick it off.
Okay.
Undead, for the range that you have, 1 mile. Okay. There are no undead within 1 mile of here.
Okay.
There definitely are aberrations.
All right.
There are no celestials.
Okay.
There are no dragons.
Okay.
There are elementals. There are no
Right.
fae or fiends. So
Okay.
you've got aberrations and elementals.
Okay. Oh, I feel better about that.
Anyway, let's just go.
Let's make our way.
Yeah.
Making your way downtown?
Walking fast.
You are not homebound.
No.
You're not even homestuck.
Once we're
I don't know much about Homestuck, but that's probably good.
once we're around the bend and the bat creature probably can't hear us, I will say, okay, I was concerned when the creature said, I know your mother is here somewhere, but there are no dragons or undead within 1 mile of us.
So it's not here.
So
Probably.
whatever
Well,
he means,
It's able to talk to skeletons, so the spirit of whatever being the skeleton belongs to. So all it needs is bones to talk to that thing's mother.
well, it thinks it can.
Fair point.
Yeah.
I won't require a roll for any of you to realize that it's possible for a cleric to talk to the undead. And if
Oh,
a
yeah,
cleric can do it, other beings can do it too.
Zax wouldn't know.
I don't know what class it has.
I don't know.
All I'm
Doesn't look
saying
like
is,
a
you know,
barbarian, though.
Yes, but I'm saying you know it's a possible thing.
Okay.
it's a possible thing, but it's also possible that it's nuts.
I mean, it's been hanging out in this cave, and you've already been told the cave was messing with people.
Right. So
Well,
let's
as long
keep
as
going.
it doesn't mess with us, I'm going to leave it alone.
Down the Southwest Passage.
Yep.
Okay. Ellie, it is your turn to roll percentile die.
Neat.
And refresh my memory. Chroma, did you pick up the pre-coprolite
I think-
googly eye?
Yes.
Okay.
74. 7-4.
Ooh, that's a big one. What does that get us?
Dogs.
I mean, not 100% wrong.
Hellhound?
Ooh.
No, there were no fiends.
Fair.
All right, so we go around the corner.
Okay. It is a series of stairs. Each goes up a ways. And you see, like, smears on the ground.
Smears of what?
I won't require a nature check for you to think that it is blood, but it is... Oh, wait, yeah, you've seen this recently. So, the nopes that you turned into pancakes,
Yeah.
this is syrup.
So somebody either killed a nope down here, or there's one hiding. Possibly ill, maybe dead.
Well, during the fight, did one of those things pull its own arm off?
No, one of them had an arm that had been pulled off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was an aftermarket modification, but not one made on the fly. I mean, probably was made on the fly, just not was made on the fly. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But this is what you're seeing on your way down this tunnel. You have not reached the end yet.
Does it smell like there's a nope down here?
If by smell you mean the smell of 1,000 corpses that you get as a whiff from Chroma's bag of nope every now and then, no, you don't smell that.
Okay.
It mostly smells like stale air
Well,
because,
it's a cave.
cave.
Yeah, that's all right. Should we just go to the end to make sure
Yeah.
there's nothing? Yeah.
Let's
Alright.
go
Yeah.
to the end, make sure there's nothing.
Yeah, at this point, you don't know there is an end. For all you know, this that takes you back outside or something. We're metagaming because I already shared the
Oh.
end with you.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
there may be an end somewhere, It's possible.
Okay.
Let's go up and see where all the staircases lead.
Okay. Before you start ascending that last staircase, you start, up ahead, you hear munchings and crunchings,
Okay, something's there.
possibly even scarfings.
Something's hungry.
It's also probably a very messy eater from the sounds of it.
I'm a barbarian. I've seen messy eaters before.
Well, I mean, that is not the sound that would get made if something was doing things to JR.
You'd hear a lot more, clanging.
Yeah.
Oh,
The crunching would be decidedly different in its texture.
All right. Do we want
So,
to fight them, or
These are very
'cause I
wet
mean,
sounds.
Let's
Keep
at
going.
least go ahead.
How far are we from... Can we see the end of the tunnel?
No. If the staircase wasn't there, I would say yes, you'd be able to. But the staircase goes up at an angle where you can't really see what's going on at the top of it. You, the player, know that it dead ends. You, the character, knows the staircase goes up and you hear something up there.
Okay. I'm going to quietly ascend
You
the
want my-
staircase. Hang on.
you want my invisibility belt?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to quietly ascend the staircase until I can see what's at the top of it.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay. I get advantage on them. 19 is what I rolled.
Okay. Looking at this. All right. You see a thing that I will copy
Okay.
the image for.
Cool.
Yes. It does not see you. It is not in that position that it is for this particular artwork at all. Instead, by the way, to describe this for our audience at home, it is a rather gaunt being. Now, the previous gaunt being that you encountered was lean muscle because it used them for flying and stuff. This is gaunt in the emaciated sense. The details of the skull are outlined on its face because there's 0% body fat. You can see every rib and the muscles that go across. There seem to be some that have atrophied or gone away entirely. So there's strands of ropey muscle, but not a whole lot. The bones for the joints are very clearly defined with very small bulges where the muscle groupings are in the forearms. Its arms and legs are longer than what you would normally see in a humanoid, with webbing between the clawed hands, and it is currently breaking apart a bone to get to the marrow inside, and after it sucks the marrow out, it starts eating the bone. But you are stealthy enough, and I rolled low enough for their perception check, that they are fixated on whatever this thing is that they're eating.
Okay. How far away from the top of the stairs is the creature?
About 10 feet from the top of the stairs.
Okay. And I can see from at this point that the cavern ends.
Yes, it's a dead end.
Okay.
Very clearly for whatever this thing is eating, because the smears that you saw on the staircases coming up here, there's a lot of them against the back wall.
Oh. I'm going to creep back down to the rest of the party. Okay. Do we want to fight?
Is it blocking another hallway?
No, it's a dead end.
But it's eating something, right?
Oh, it's quite dead. It's eating bones at this point.
Right, but
bones.
I mean, if this thing's still hungry, it could come after us.
That's true.
But it'll probably take a while. I think it's probably safer just to continue
Yeah,
on.
let's leave it.
Okay.
All right.
Come on, Zex. There'll probably be lots of other things to fight.
Oh, I'm sure there will. I just don't want something coming up behind us.
And I've already spent my lightning bolt, so I want to preserve our resources.
That's fair. All right. Let's backtrack.
Okay.
Okay.
So you backtrack your way back into the room with the pool. The lifeguard is not on duty, but the creature with the wings and bones is still there. And at this point, they've pulled out a small knife or stylus, and they are carving something into the skull that they were talking to earlier.
Don't mind us, we're just taking another door.
You again. You find a big dragon bone, let me know.
We'll keep an eye out,
She's here somewhere. What a story.
and we'll continue on with our right is right.
You know, I kind of like this guy.
At least he's leaving us alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
considering
He
the other
doesn't wanna
things we've
fight us.
met in this place.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight us, and he doesn't want to eat us, and he doesn't want to, like, throw things at us, so...
Are you saying this in character?
Mm-hmm.
Eat you. Ha.
See?
Stories. Like stories.
Oh, hang on.
I
Not
do
you.
know a
One for you.
story.
The living still have stories to go. The dead, their stories are complete. Usually. Sometimes they come back. Not this one, though. This one's dead.
Interesting take on things. We'll let you know if
Well-
we find big dragon bones.
When I die, I'll come back here, and you can listen to how we got the moon back.
I need the bones.
I'll arrange it. Anyway, I think we're
Anyway.
headed back.
Yeah,
I think
this-
we're headed down the southeastern passage now.
Okay, and at this point, as I copy-paste the next part of the map, I would like Io to roll me percentile die.
Okay. I don't know why I chroma voiced to that.
No, why not?
Because you're playing Chroma.
Yeah. 33.
We have a 33. What will that get us this time? I honestly don't remember if we got a roll for this particular bracket of percentile die before.
I
Ooh.
don't remember.
But if we did,
we might
it's
have.
changed since last time. Because like I said, it changes.
A river coming out of one wall and flowing into another wall with a bridge over it. We're way back in season 1.
We
At the
are.
very beginning of season 1.
Oh, no.
Only this room
remember
looks like
that.
it's carved out. These are not rough walls. So it's rough walls for the passage on the way in, but this room, those are straight lines. There does appear to be some erosion at the side where the river is flowing out, but without that erosion there, this room would have been an octagon. You've been fighting Nopes. This room would have been a stop sign.
Or a UFC match.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to be a UFC match.
Is there anything
Okay.
in here other than the bridge and the water?
It's a very good question.
Do we need to roll something to find the answer?
Well, you don't see anything just by looking around. If you want to make a roll
Okay.
for something, I'll allow it. But none of you has a passive perception that's going to make me reveal additional details at this point.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'll
so
roll
yeah, if this
perception.
room is carved out, let's at least spend a moment examining it.
26 on my perception roll.
Oh, wonderful. So yeah, this room looks like at some point it had some nefarious puzzle or trap that, based on the history of the place, was likely put in by Malthomax herself at some point to annoy imprison or destroy visitors. The gnomes who came in afterwards most likely got rid of all of the things that would kill you.
Oh, right, the gnomes.
Yeah, because the gnomes came in for doing research and stuff. And it looks like with the 2 rolls that I've been told about so far that are over 20, you see that there are scratches along the walls. And on the floor.
Does it look like claw marks or like scratches from whatever tools the gnomes used?
They're parallel scratches, so normally that would be from claws. And the reason why I required a roll so high, because obviously if I said none of your passive perceptions are high enough, one of you's got a 19. I required it pretty high.
Right.
Some of those scratches weren't there the last time you looked at those walls. Some of them were.
Oh,
Something's here we can't see.
Yes.
book it, guys.
Which way? Across the bridge
Down.
and over?
Cross the
Down?
bridge.
Across the bridge? All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. As you start booking it towards the bridge, some claw marks start appearing on the floor, moving towards you.
How far away?
It's not that big a room, so I would say when they start moving towards you, they are like 20 feet from the starting point, and they're moving towards you at, I would argue, maybe a speed of 30 feet per 6 seconds.
Shatter grenade.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy.
What does that do?
I'm going to put towards a bit past the marks. I think. I don't know how far we are from it. It has a 10-foot radius sphere. And
you think you can get it there with... You can throw it far enough away and still have it be near the marks.
Okay.
And what does it do?
Constitution saving throw DC 16, 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. A creature made of Actually, I have made errors. I really hope this doesn't have JR.
Oh.
Well, if I might ease your tension a little bit, whatever took JR, you saw its hands holding the garrote wire.
Yeah, it was not invisible and clawy.
Okay, roll your damage.
All right. I've got my arcane firearm, so I guess I can use it in this, so I will add the arcane firearms thing. I'm not very words right now. It's the pollen.
Understandable.
Ha! You do 19 points of damage to a thing you can't even see.
Nice.
If you'd have tried to do any other thing, you'd be rolling disadvantage because the whole can't see it thing. But no, you had to do a thing where it had to make a saving throw. So there is a movie, Big Trouble in Little China, where near the end, the wise old instructor that gives everyone magic powers and stuff to defeat the big bad, throws something down a tunnel and there's an explosion and he says, "It won't come out again." And the question is like, well, what won't come out again? What was it? And they never get an answer. This is kind of like that. There's an explosion. There's a sort of muted scream. And for the briefest of moments, mostly because of the shrapnel and bits of ground that are tossed up from the grenade going off, you see the outline of a humanoid that, I mean, its proportions were very human. The only things that made it not appear human were, 1, invisible, 2, the fingers were very long, and adding in sharp points, though they were claws. But usually when you see something like that, there's other things like elongated arms or like scary-looking faces or whatever. This was human, but with long fingers. It's like when you see that kid that folds paper into triangles and puts the triangle on each of their fingers.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been teaching for 2 decades, and they still do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you see very briefly, and when the dust settles, it's gone.
But I can see it.
You saw it briefly in the explosion of the grenade.
I could see it very briefly in the explosion of the grenade, and that's enough for me. I cast Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark doesn't last.
Oh. That's alarming.
Chroma
I
did
think I
1
killed
point
it.
more than it had.
Oh, it's not working because
Oh.
it's dead.
Okay, then.
If there's another one of these in the room, you could transfer it to them if you knew where they were, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting my area of effect spells ready just in case, but let's get out of the room with the invisible people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Chroma might have killed them
Let's-
all for all we know.
Let's continue booking it, gang.
All right.
I am really happy with how this adventure's going. I hope you're enjoying yourselves too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going to happen from one room to the next. It's glorious. And now we are ready for Jen to roll percentile die.
Okay. It's the one with 2 in it.
It's
Yes.
yes, it's the 2d10.
Mhm. And it says 12.
Oh, wonderful.
That's
I
the
don't
one where
know
nothing
what that
happens.
You keep saying that. I need to adjust my table so we don't get repeats.
Impressive instincts, Chroma.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was really good.
Ha!
Uh-oh, I know that sound.
That's the sound that you get right before the DM says you get inspiration. I mean, to be fair, that is the sound you hear right before the DM says you get
Yeah,
inspiration.
generally.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, this is going to be tricky because the room bends in a way around other rooms, and I don't want to do spoilers.
Okay.
See the marquee tool.
Yeah, but I'm using Firefox's screenshot feature, so that doesn't let
Screenshot.
me do marquee.
Right.
Okay, so this is the hallway you go down. You can
Okay.
see it opens up in a spot, and then it gets narrow again. You continue on doing right is right, right is right, right is right. At the bottom where it has that staircase that goes into a dot for some reason, ignore that. I'm not bothering with that feature of the map. I'm just going to say that it opens up into a wider cavern. And now I'm going to screenshot
right.
the cavern. Okay,
Whoa.
so this cavern is very spacious. It is multi-layered. You are coming in a lower portion of it. So those lines that you see going through the cavern, those are ridges. You can climb up them, especially as kobolds, but even someone as awkward as a human would probably be able to climb up these slopes.
Okay.
Is this
How
where it
tall are
happened?
I don't know.
the I don't want to call them rings with the splotches in the middle? Are those pillars or are they
Those are stalagmites.
okay.
Okay.
There are plenty more stalactites, but they are high up enough that unless
They don't
you
affect the map.
unless you're flying, they're not going to be an issue.
Okay.
A geologist would love this place.
Mm-hmm.
No, a geologist would go insane in this place. If you spoke to the gnomes that were researching this area, they actually have a short list of names for you.
Of geologists that went insane in this place?
The last one was taken away kicking and screaming, going, "But it makes no sense! There shouldn't be limestone here! Why is there limestone?
Someone brought in a bunch of limestone and then cast mold earth?
But why would you do that? It's like having a mountain in the middle of a
Aesthetic?
plain. Wait, this is a mountain in the middle of a plain. What's going on?"
taste. Bad taste, probably.
All right.
And-
Let's start climbing and see what's at the north of the room.
Okay.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right. So
need to
everyone
examine
with a
this room,
passive
northwards.
perception above 10 knows you're not
Which
alone.
means everyone but me.
Oh, yeah. I got a 14.
We're not alone.
We are?
In what way are we not alone?
In the way that there's a lot of things kind of like hiding behind other things and peering out at you. When you turn to look, they duck down again.
And they're on the other side of the thing we're climbing?
They are, well, yes, and also over there, and also over there.
Oh, they're
There might be a
surrounding
few
us.
up there.
Okay.
When I say a lot, I do mean a lot.
How big is this room?
It is, let's put it this way. There's spots where Chroma could probably use a fireball and not hit you.
Okay.
So, we're
Hello,
being watched?
people.
Hello? Friends or foes?
Oh, boy.
Give me a second here.
I'd like to vote for friends if you're listening.
Assuming they speak our language.
True.
You
I
hear
will-
a chittering sound.
Oh, no.
What
Have we heard
kind
that
of
before?
chitter?
Oh, Chroma knows this kind of chitter.
Oh, no.
And you all feel a sense of dread come over you.
We're surrounded by the
I-
spiders, aren't we?
Take out the horn of heroism.
Do
and
I
blow it.
know?
Everybody in the party gets 4 temporary hit points.
Nice.
and is immune to being frightened for the next hour.
Does
Okay.
the chittering sound like words to me?
Yes. Many of them that are chittering are talking about food.
Oh no.
Now, these things are small. They are relatively kobold-sized. The thing that Neri saw that was eating was more medium-sized. But these are small, and there's a lot of them.
Are they Neogi?
They are not Neogi.
Okay, good. I was worried there were like Neogi and a horde of mind-controlled thingies here.
Give me a perception check to see how many details I can point out to you. I don't have art to share
Oh,
for
yeah.
this one.
Okay.
Everyone or just Chroma?
Anyone? Well, you all know you're surrounded at this point.
17.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm
26.
surprised too.
Okay, so
26,
The-
not 36.
and a 15 is good too from Zax. I see a 16 for Neri. Okay, fantastic. So these creatures, they have fangs, but they don't have lips. Congratulations. Apparently, there is balance in the universe. Modrons have lips. These things don't.
Well, Motrons wouldn't do it if it wasn't balanced.
It might be better if these were the things with lips and the Modrons didn't. But
Yeah,
That's not
no one
where we
ever
are.
said balance was pretty.
I mean, without lips, how is a Modron going to play the trombone?
fair. I mean, the first Modron I had you encounter was a bard.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Their name was 837.
837-5309. 867-5309.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Jenny, oh!
Yep, made that joke when they introduced themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They had a speech impediment. They're still out there, by the way. They may
Somewhere.
be encountered by one of the Saturday games.
Oh, fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Jenny.
Their speech impediment was they would stop at usually a syllable at the very start of a sentence and repeat it several times in a row before continuing on, like an uncomfortable number of times. So
Yeah.
these beings, they're fanged and lipless, so they all look like they're smiling at you. Maybe they are. Maybe those smiling faces are the reason why you feel a sense of dread. They have very spindly legs and very long arms, and there are bristles and spines not covering them evenly. They're in odd patches. It's not symmetrical. It's not the same on each one of them. It's random. The skin that shows, and there's more skin than bristles, is very pallid, and their long fingers end in broken and dirty nails. The ones that are not talking about food are confused. They're wondering why you're here.
We're just here to investigate thingies. I guess like the gnomes were, but probably not exactly the way the gnomes were doing it. I don't know how the gnomes were doing it. And if you don't try to eat us, we'll be nice to you.
Chroma, do you
Laughter.
understand these things?
Laughter is weird in deep speech.
Yeah, they speak deep speech.
Okay, can you translate for me?
I think some of them want to eat us and some of them are confused.
No, I mean, can you translate what I'm about to say?
Oh, sure.
We won't attack you if you don't attack us. But if you attack us, you will die.
Neri says, that she agrees with the thing I said about if you don't attack us, we won't attack you, and also would like to note that if you attack us, you're going to die. Which, is kind of true. Evidence which suggests that that's usually what happens. So, maybe don't. I don't want to kill you. That last part was me, not Neri.
The responses that you receive are varied. There's some that are still laughing at you. There are some that are calling out to each other, which of you looks like you're the most tasty? Which right now you still have an earth elemental and a turret with you. Some of them have actually
look
called
least
dibs
tasty.
on the turret, which doesn't speak well for their intelligence. Oh dear. Sorry.
Wasn't
But-
actually your fault.
That makes me feel slightly better, but I'm still concerned because I know what that feels like. the ones that seem to be more aware of the situation at hand, by your reckoning, because they're not talking about eating you currently, which means that either they did a pretty good insight check, or maybe they already ate. You don't know. Are saying it might be much more interesting if you meet the seer. Yes, let the seer deal with you.
Sure.
So what's going on now?
They're introducing us to a seer.
Didn't you say they wanted to eat us a moment ago?
Yeah,
guess
some
they
of them
changed
do.
their mind?
The smart ones don't.
Wouldn't
Some of
taking
them
us to the
want
seer...
to eat the turret.
I'm just worried that taking us to the seer is really their way of saying, we'll take you to the big tough one that might actually be able to kill you.
Well, I mean, I guess they could try.
They
I
can
regret to
try.
inform them that I do not provide a daily supply of caloric intake.
Ballista here says that, it's not edible. Which is true. I should know. I built it.
The ones that were talking about eating the ballista have changed their opinion, and they're much more interested in eating the talking one.
I have a higher AC.
In your half plate, you're described as crunchy outside, chewy center.
Oh, no.
However, at this point, they are all keeping their distances from you.
Probably smart.
So, if the seer wants to come talk to us, I'd be happy to talk to them.
The chittering stops, and there is a pause. Some of them look at each other, and then there is a mass exodus as they swarm out that particular exit to the southeast.
Chroma, I don't know what you said, but good job.
I'm not so sure.
Thanks.
I don't know
I
if you
don't
scared
know
him off
what
or
I
something
said
else,
either.
but just
You
be
take after your mom.
Could be that, you know? Maybe you scared him off, but
But I didn't even laugh at all.
just be prepared. Something's coming.
Yeah.
Let's at least move up to the 4th level between the two upper stalagmites, so that we can proceed northward if they don't come back.
Okay. That'll give us some cover
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. When you reach the top of that area, you can see a bit more of that particular part of the chamber, including a staircase leading down, where the sides of that staircase appear to be carved out. Most of this room is very much, looks like it's naturally formed, but this particular stairwell is very clearly carved out.
Okay. Chroma, what did you say to them?
That, if the seer wanted to talk to us, we'd be happy to talk.
Did they ask us to follow them or something?
No, they just stopped saying anything and ran away.
That makes me think something big is coming.
Maybe it's the seer.
Yeah.
Maybe they're afraid of the seer? I don't know.
I'm guessing they're afraid of the seer and not me because, I didn't do anything scary. I mean, Neri said scary things, but that's not when they ran.
That's true. Well, we can wait a minute and see what happens, or we can move on, but whatever. If something's coming, it's going to find us anyway, probably.
I vote we wait a couple minutes, and if nothing happens,
All right.
Sounds
does
fair.
that sound okay?
Yeah.
That sounds big.
Which
Can
way
we
is it
tell
coming
which-
from?
Yes. That.
At this point, not yet.
Hmm.
Okay, let's all circle up and keep an eye out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we're, what, between those two stalactite things? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shield ready. Turret on shoulder.
Eventually, you can start to tell where it's coming from. It's not coming from the southeast, where all of these things left. It's not coming from where you came from. It is coming from one of the passageways to the southwest.
Okay.
And your spot, you have the high ground, so the fight is already over.
Ah,
Yeah.
No, that's
Come-
only if there's lava everywhere.
that can be arranged.
given
Yeah.
given the nature of most of the stalagmites in here, yeah.
But you do have the high ground, so you see... actually, this room is large enough that your dark vision, it's 60 feet, right?
Mhm.
It
Yes.
throws me off because Mazir had like 120.
Hmm.
Darned warlocks. But in this particular case, you can't see that stairwell. It's too far away. That's over 60 feet away. So, but you do remember seeing that stairwell when you were coming into the room.
Right.
You hear it coming from that direction, and eventually coming into view, you see one of these. It is
Oh,
obviously
wow.
mechanical. It is quite large. One might argue it might still be considered medium-sized, but it's big for medium in the way that a Dragonborn is big for medium.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
a Tauren or a Draenei is still humanoid-sized, but they're big. It is carrying... It does not carry weapons. Well, one could use these things as weapons if they chose, but it looks like in each of its very large armored hands, it is holding a shield that is partially bolted to the arm. Matter of fact, you're not entirely sure that the hands that are holding those shields would ever be able to let go of the shields because of how the shields are bolted to the forearms. They're just kind of there. And it walks into the center of the room and begins to look around.
Hello.
Oh,
Here we go.
It immediately turns towards Chroma.
Chroma waves.
It waves.
Hi.
Interesting.
It runs towards you.
Okay.
Chroma will cheerfully take a few
Scatter.
steps towards it.
Yep. Move,
It
move,
moves
move.
at 60 feet.
You look fantastic.
Please tell us if you're friendly. You're not acting very friendly right now.
It waved.
And then it started charging us.
Maybe it really wants
It-
to make friends.
It
Wouldn't be the
charges
first thing
up
in
the
here.
slope to your position. And it waves again.
Chroma, move.
Chroma waves back.
It waves again.
Okay, we've established it's got
JR?
the wave thing.
JR?
It jumps.
Whoa.
JR?
What?
The chest piece opens up, and inside you see a JR. I found a thing.
Yeah.
I hug JR.
JR, you're all right. I found your shoulder joint.
That will be useful.
Oh my gosh.
And
Look
that's
at
where we're
what
going to
you
end it for tonight.
got.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
I don't know if this link is going to work, but I'm going to post it in chat anyway. This is the thing that JR
Okay.
found. I'm posting this in Twitch chat for LFA.
Okay.
Uh,
yeah, that's good because LFA can't see what's in the Discord chat, right?
Yes.
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 Apparently, LFA can see it. All right. So that's where we're ending tonight's session. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Tonight, I've been joined by a bunch of awesome people, including but not limited to Archbeth hanging out in chat, LFA hanging out in chat, Ellie, Io, Jen, Cindy. Matt was with us for the first half. Let's do some plugs. All right. Ellie runs a social network. Elek, ELEKK.xyz. It runs on a Mastodon-compatible service, so if you have a Mastodon or other ActivityPub account, you can follow us. Our various social media are linked in the cast page, so go ahead and click on that link at wherever this podcast is found, and you can see all that information. Io's mom writes books. You can find those at elizabeth-mccoy.com. Jen has a blog and podcast. You can get that at bookofjen.net. Cindy is awesome. Don't have anything to link for Cindy, but Cindy is awesome.
But Cindy is awesome. Hmm.
Yes, it's worth noting.
true.
Thank you.
Matt's brother-in-law also writes books. You can get those at nogodsbeforeus.com. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Cindy, Ellie, Eric, and Mickey. And we also have a Kobolds in Space game. What? We do. And that, let me see if I can find the link, because of course I misplaced it. crashthedm.itch.io/kobolds-in-space. It is not D&D. It is much simpler rules. In theory, they're easier to pick up. There's only 4 stats. Ellie even made a random kobold adventure generator based on these rules. That's linked in that particular game. It is a free-to-play game, not free as in loot boxes, although that would be a way to monetize.
I don't know how you would, but
You can't see me because I don't have a webcam set up, but I am currently rubbing my fingers over my beard, thinking,
you are that
loot
emoji, you
boxes,
know?
you say.
I did read a D&D horror story about a DM who did that to his campaign.
I mean, if all the players were into it as a mechanic and there was no actual, like, money changing hands, I can find amusement in creating a parody of loot boxes.
Ah, okay.
But I don't want to make a game that has actual real loot boxes where you have to pay to open them. Like, I've got 15,000 loot boxes. I'm over encumbered. Well, as luck would have it, all you need to do is purchase these keys and you can start opening them.
No.
No. We're not doing that. The suggested price for Cobalt in Space is $2, but it is pay what you want. So most people who have downloaded it have downloaded it for free, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I want people to enjoy this game. So there's that, and there's additional stuff that is in the works. By the time this podcast is heard in the RSS feed, there will be additional content for it besides the base rules, like 121 adversaries, because of course I had to come up with stats for 121 adversaries.
Naturally.
Yes. Well, it's you roll 2d6, you can get 11 possible numbers, so you roll 2d6 to find out what category of adversary you're facing, and each of those is a table where you roll 2d6. 11 times 11. It makes total sense. Seriously.
Oh, it absolutely makes sense. I'm just looking forward to programming them into the generator.
Yes. Although you'll be copy-pasting.
Some of it.
Yeah, I'm the one looking at it and going, oh, why did I say I was going to make a list of 12 of these? Oh, well.
Well, I could with that.
All right. So, with all of that said, this has been Crash. And until next time, JR waves.
Now he waves with a shield the size of a kobold.
They found a thing.
JR waves with a shield the size of 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night!
Good night.